Is the acting technique appropriate to the style of performance? Rent is a musical, and so it's quite an unnaturalistic show, but the characters in Rent are quite naturalistic. They represent real people. They represent people that Jonathan Larson himself knew. And so there is nothing unnaturalistic about the characters in Rent. And so I do feel like I portray Joanne in a naturalistic way. As I mentioned earlier, whenever I am in a situation, I always try to imagine what I myself would do in that situation. So before La Vie Boheme, I tried to imagine how I would feel if my partner was bossing me around. And then I used the emotion I got from that thought and put it into my performance. And so I do think that I do well to make sure that I give a realistic performance without over-exaggerating my gestures and my voice and things like that. Do you use a range of emotions and actions used to meet your character's objectives? I do feel I use a range of emotions in this scene. I come on and I'm quite happy to see Maureen, and I'm smiling at her and, stroking her arm. And then when she tells me to do something else for her, I roll my eyes and I sort of stamp my feet and I tilt my head back and I walk off. And then when she starts being more flirty with me, I start laughing, joking and being more hands-on with her and touching her more and grinning at her. And so you can see a range of emotions in my performance in this. Do you react to other characters on stage? I feel I always react to everything going on around me. So when I walk on stage, there is a part in La Vie Boheme in this particular video where Maureen is kissing another girl, and I come on and I'm looking at everyone and thinking, what's everyone doing? And then I look at Maureen and see what she's doing, how she's kissing someone else, and I get upset and I run off stage. And so I'm always reacting to everything that's going on stage. I'm never standing there not reacting. I'm always listening to what's being said and reacting. What could be improved? It would be better if I could be a little bit more flirty with Maureen in areas. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it would be better if I could be a little bit bigger with my gestures to make sure the audience can see clearly what I'm doing. Okay, my vocal skills. Grade from 1 to 10 and describe what is good and what needs improving. Vocals. I'm going to give myself a 9 for vocals. I feel I controlled my vocals really well, but sometimes it was difficult to hear what I was saying, and so I could be a little bit louder. And loudness is the next one, which I've just mentioned. I'm going to give myself a 6 for loudness, because in the video sometimes it is difficult to hear what I'm saying, and so I could be a little bit louder. Emotion tone, 9. I feel I always add a lot of emotion into my singing. As I mentioned earlier about thinking about real life circumstances and adding that into my performance, I feel that gives me that emotional tone I need to make a realistic performance. Pace, rhythm, pausing and timing, 9. I always stay in time to the music, keep with the pace. And I also feel that, I leave pauses in appropriate places so that the audience can hear what I'm saying. Accent, dialect, pitch, diction. I'm going to give myself a 9 again. I think I have a strong American accent, which is clear to understand. And I also feel I pronounce each word properly. It's a big thing for me to make sure that I pronounce things properly so that the audience can hear what I'm saying. Action plan. Amy says that I should be louder in La Vie Boheme. and so I should be a little bit more louder so that the audience can hear what I'm saying. Also, I could flirt with Jasmine a little bit more, maybe make more eye contact with her and connect with her more on stage. So my target for next week is to improve on my loudness and to also think about how I can connect with Jasmine more on stage and how I can maybe flirt with her a little bit more. What will I do to improve? I'll look at the areas where I can be more seductive and where I can be a bit louder, and I'll practice them at home and make sure I meet up with Jasmine as well, and go over that and practice until it's better. Video myself, watch it back, and always assess what I can and can't improve. When will I rehearse? In classes and at home.